I'm not a lawn guy still, but something's changed overnight. I don't know what it was. And I did a video about a week ago, and one of my good mates messaged me about it, and he thought it was a personal attack on him because I'd made a remark about blokes smoking meat, playing golf, and looking after their grass. And he does all three of those and does them really well, might I add. Kicks my ass in golf too. That's not hard, but he's very talented. Anyway, I digress. I got home today from the gym, and I got like weeds in my driveway, right? You know, like in the cracks. You know, nothing crazy, but weeds. And I was getting out the car, and some bloke that I don't really know at all, but I bumped into him at a coffee shop when I was first moving to this town about probably 16 months ago. We just stopped and had a yarn, and whenever I bump into him, we stop and have a chat. And he drove past my house, and for whatever reason, he turned around and drove back and pulled in the driveway and just stopped to have a chat. Never done that before, but whatever. I'm happy to have a yarn. And I'm talking to him, and I realise I've become like, I guess the word is embarrassed. I was like, fuck, there's a few weeds. My edges haven't been done on my lawn. I haven't hedged the front. We got like hedges out the front. I haven't hedged out the front. And I've got like a double carport. Half of it's where I store my wood for my fireplace. And it's just kind of become a home for assorted stuff. A couple of old push bikes, some clothes that are in bags for donation bins, just stuff, right? And it's open. There's no roller door or anything on it, and yeah, I don't need to see my perfume. It's Issey Miyake, by the way. And anyway, I stopped and had this chat with this bloke, and I had already had in mind, I'm going to go study. I'm going to go put in some fucking hours today in the books. And had a yarn. And he left, and I said, no, actually, you know what? Like, let's do this. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but if you're coming here for my videos anyway, you know all I do is just verbal diarrhea. I'm just spewing what's in my mind. Right, and I had this realization that I'm aware that I'm very fortunate to own a nice home with a big yard, but I've looked at it always as just such a burden. All this fucking lawn, all this weeding, all this gardening, and I kid myself by saying my priorities are elsewhere, and that it's true. I'm never going to be a guy with, on my fucking hands and knees with tweezers plicking out fucking weeds and shit. Dad is always number one, but I've got time I could spend to maintain my yard, and that's hence the title of the shift: burden versus pride. I'm proud of my home, but I don't take pride in my yard. It's not feral by any means. It's always, I don't know, tidy, but like, it's not tidy, if you know what I mean. So, I know it sounds silly. It's just a couple of words, but I was like, yeah, dude, it's not enough to just be proud, like take pride. And what message does that send my kids as well? That, that this is something that mum and dad worked really hard to buy, and dad cares about it. Look at the state of the yard, like it's maintained. You see dad in the garden mowing or weeding or whatever. And I guess it's probably a really valuable lesson about life and valuing and taking care of the things that you're proud of. So yeah, I feel fucking great. I feel fantastic. I spent all day in the garden. I weeded, I edged, I mowed, I whippersnipped, I hedged, I cleaned out the garage thing, I blower-vacked and scrubbed it, and it's still a bit of work to do for sure, but like 90% done, and I was so proud. I was like, man, I got to like maintain this. I guess it kind of piggybacked on the back of yesterday's like perfect day. You know, I think a part of that is just sticking on top of this shit so it doesn't pile up and compound into a bigger, 3-day project to maintain the side of your yard. Burden versus pride. It's nothing's changed, but I've just switched my headset up to being, more showing more pride in what I've got. Same with my car. I was thinking that as well, because my car needs a wash still. I think I get a whole pass for that though, because it hasn't stopped fucking raining. Anyway, pride versus burden. I'm no longer seeing it as a burden. I'm seeing it now as something to not only to be proud of, but to take pride in. Yeah, I'm happy. Otherwise, excuse me. Today was an awesome heavy back session at the gym. We are still at the very, very end of our 7-day trial with I forgot what it's called now. The app, Chris Bumstead's app. Really enjoying it. Hard yakka, but really enjoying it. My coaching should formally start with Ben probably tonight, tomorrow, otherwise Monday. So I'm really fired up for that. Fucking can't wait. And I'm proud of myself for not just like absolutely sending it before we start as well, which in the past I would have. I would have just lost the plot, knowing that, I'm going to start with a coach on Monday. From now until then, I'm just going to fucking eat everything. Chocky, KFC, whatever. And I'm not. I'm eating my microwave meals, well, my frozen meals. And yeah, it's been, actually making genuine change in my mentality. And like, to be fair, I'll talk more to like, once we really start rolling with this program about how I'm balancing being a parent with all this. But like, the point of this channel isn't how to be a dad. The point of this channel is to show you as dads how to show up as your best self. Well, not even that. It's just me documenting my own personal experiences. That's actually what this channel is about. My own personal experiences and how I'm working on myself to show up as a better dad. And a part of that is like just sitting here, commitment to putting this out every day, having, just chatting shit. I actually enjoy it. A couple thousand people watched my shorts, which is exciting. Anyway, whatever. Beside the point. The point I'm trying to make is this is just a place for me to just dump my mind as I progress through this journey. I don't know what it looks like, if it ends, anything. I'm just happy coming in here and yapping away. Don't think there's much else to say today. No. My coach, Ben, put me onto a bloke called Peter, what's his name? Peter Crone. Kind of like a mindfulness guru. I think he's called the mind architect or something like that. Fascinating dude. Fascinating. Some of it's like, you got to be open to that sort of stuff to even be able to like listen to it, which I am. It's been really fascinating. He just did a podcast with a bloke on YouTube. I don't know what his name was, but this isn't very fucking helpful for you, is it? But about this bloke overcoming his own problems, and the way that he made a statement in the video that, this guy had been held back from doing whatever he wanted to do his whole life by his own self-criticism and fear of judgment from others. And he made a statement in there along the lines of, you are letting sound, because that's all words are, you're letting sound affect the way in which you're showing up every day. And how like simple a thing is to, if you look at it like that, it's just sound, it's just audio. Like, don't let something so simple stop you from showing up as who you want to be. I don't know what the fucking relevance of that is to anything right now, but interesting. If you're interested in like outside of the bounds of like standard Western philosophies and don't mind dabbling in the woo-woo, I do. I love the woo-woo. And Peter Crone, interesting cat, man. That's it. Till tomorrow, homies.